Blessings, everyone. Today I would like to share Spirited Nudging to do an oracle reading from Messages of the Guides. And this is from James Van Praagh, who is a very beautiful soul and a wonderful mentor. Today, Spirit kind of nudged me to do something, step out of my comfort zone. So I know a lot of people are experiencing this. And I'm sharing a little bit because it was the first real time that I'd been somewhere that Spirit kind of came through from the other side. Usually it's the guides or the angels or light beings that come through, and they're bringing messages. And it's not as difficult to share that because we can kind of, with integrity, give it as a little bit of wisdom to people without being so specific. So it could come in a general form. But today Spirit came through with a loved one from the other side. And we were at a restaurant, and there was a lady that was there that was a bartender. And they gave me her name, and it was trying to connect. And it's something I'm still new with. It's not something I ever do, is just walk up to people cold turkey, so to speak, but Spirit was very clear. And I'm still learning, so there were certain things it didn't connect exactly. There was some things that were very specific, but it reminded me of a very strong thing that the guides are bringing through before the reading today, is to always have integrity. And sometimes we're going to use our filters when we're getting guidance or messages from the other side, and Spirit was very clear that this is what gets in the way, that we have to be in that space of full trust. And even if it's something Spirit's showing us that makes no sense to us in the moment, or our guides, our loved ones, light beings, that we have to trust that whatever's coming through, we will understand at some point. That is so integral. And a lot of people ask, how come they haven't heard from their loved ones, or they feel like they're not getting signs? And this is just something over and over and over again Spirit has reiterated, and still practices. Every day, they're always kind of encouraging me and testing me to go into that space of trust, because the more you trust and the more secure you are, even at the most outlandish things, the more the messages can flow, and the more clear it is when we're not using our filters, or we're not trying to make something fit. And so that was a big, strong lesson for me today. So first, I would like to say thank you to Source for allowing me to be in a meeting of light. And I ask all the guides to step forward and please help bring a message for the highest good. Thank you, I'm grateful. So the first is going to be, sorry, my cat is having a field day on the side off the camera here. The first is going to be, this is to honor Source. The second is to honor Spirit. And the third is to honor Soul. And then I always just kind of move the cards, and Spirit will nudge. Okay, or it comes out of the deck. Like attracts like. And as the guides are pulling close, they're saying that this is something that is a simple concept for us here, but we forget when we're holding a certain resonance that it is always what we're sending out is also what we're receiving, because we're our own experience of everything that we feel, see, hear, touch. All of those senses and all of those emotions that we're sending out, we are experiencing that in the moment. So that resonance is strong. That resonance is like a homing device. That symbol that they use, a moth to a flame. But sometimes they're saying that this isn't always the case. And we wonder why sometimes, if we feel like we're being in such a loving space, or we're being in an honest, open space, why maybe are we bringing certain energies to us that seem like chaos or confused, or maybe they're angry, depressed. And that is a message from that Spirit is bringing through. The guides are saying that we have to understand that like attracts like, but also so does wisdom. So if we are in a space of love and peace, we may be attracting those to us, much like us, but have forgotten how to go into that space. Or maybe they're going through a life challenge in that moment that has taken them out of that space. It reminds us that everyone, as long as they're still here, are on the journey and doing the best that they can do. And when we use this analogy of like attracts like, we have to remember that though sometimes people may be coming into our awareness that don't seem like us, they are. At the core of all our beings, we are. We know this. It's an innate knowing. We are all of the same source, brothers and sisters here on this beautiful journey. And so Spirit the guides are really encouraging, especially now with all these eclipse energies, that there's going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of disruption and a lot of emotions and all kinds of things coming out right now. And we have to remember that the likeness isn't always in how we go about things or how we express things, but at the core of what we are. And this is what keeps us being of service to each other. We're all teachers, we're all students here. And so they're bringing up, they're using this card today, they're using this oracle with the phrase like attracts like, more of as a reminder that as we step into these energies that are coming very intensely and we're moving through these things, set aside the idea that we have to be around people like us in the sense of soul family that are going to agree with us on everything and every aspect of our spirituality, and open up to those that we know in our core of being are our brothers and sisters, but may be drawn to us in a different form of likeness. It's not like attracts like that we all like to do oracle readings, or maybe we're all into crystals, or maybe we're into sports and we want to attract like-minded people, or maybe we have certain theories and belief systems that we're using right now or practicing, and this is what we want to surround ourselves with. That's the easy part of being here. We have to go a little further. Expand the consciousness. When we think of like attracts like, we have to think at the core of being. That anyone who comes into our awareness is that beautiful opportunity for us to touch in that space. So set aside the personalities. The personalities just help us tell the story here. They're the characters. And look at the core being. Remember the light in each of us. So when we think of like attracts like from that space, we will always be able to find something in some space in the core of our being that remembers. And that's where we can be of service and help each other. And that's where we can find common ground. And that's where we can really expand our consciousness and test all of the things that we put into practice. Because it's easy to do that when someone is flowing with us in the same space. But when a personality, the character, the storyline is different than ours, what can we do with that? How do we reach? And that's where the like attracts like. This isn't always about manifesting. Because when we lift the veil a little bit and expand that awareness, there isn't anything that's lacking. There isn't anything to attract. It's all there and it's all very clear. So that's the message for today. I hope this finds everyone well. Many beautiful blessings, and thank you for allowing me to bring this through. Much love, everyone.